Chatting with VDF today. Welcome to Chatting with VDF. Damien here, just about to grab a little breakfast. One of the most important decisions I make all day. Do I have oatmeal or do I have toasted oatmeal flakes? Oatmeal, toasted oatmeal flakes. Oatmeal, 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 toasted oatmeal flakes. I'm going to have them both today. All right, so what's up, guys? I'm not here to just talk to you about cereal, although it is the most important meal of the day, boys and girls. But I am talking to you about Chatting with VDF, where I talk about one of the features and benefits of the virtual deal factor and what it can do for you and what it will do for you and your real estate investing business to help you make more deals, more money, and have more fun inside the virtual deal factor. So what I want to talk about today is something called buyer leads. Yes, in the virtual deal factory, you will see when you log in, there's a little thing. You just go up here, and then you go. I wish I was like Tom Cruise in the Minority Report, where I could just go and a whole screen pops up, but I don't have that technology yet. I'm gonna ask somebody for that. Anyways, you go up here and you go boop, and you'll see something called buyer leads. Now, what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to answer some questions about buyer leads, what they are, some common questions about them, and where to come from, and what you need to do with them. So, first of all, I want to talk about what buyer leads are not. Buyer leads are not somebody who's a traditional buyer who has $50,000 to put down on a house with an 800 credit score and no problems, and they're just ready to buy a house. Why is that not a buyer lead? Because that person would just go to a realtor or pick a property off realtor.com and they're done. Buyer leads, that's not what a buyer lead is. Remember, you're a creative real estate investor. So buyer leads are buyers that for one reason or another don't traditionally fit what a regular traditional market has to offer. Now, it might be because they don't have as much money to put down. It might be because, like myself, hey, maybe they left a job and they need, especially now with stronger lender requirements, maybe they don't have enough of an income history. Maybe they're a buyer lead because they're looking for investment deals. They're not just looking to buy a house to move their kids in and pay retail for. Okay, so a buyer lead is not a traditional buyer, and I say that because sometimes we get individuals in VDF who go, oh, I don't understand. I just want to set this person up with well, that's not a creative real estate buyer lead. That's just a traditional buyer who can go on realtor.com, in which case, if they can do that, they don't need you, the real estate investor. So a buyer lead is somebody who's looking to buy unconventionally, to buy non-traditionally, whether it's because they have a different need. For example, they're looking to invest or buy at a discount for themselves, or they face a challenge, whether it's a credit challenge, whether it's a cash flow challenge. Okay? And what we've done is we have buyer leads in the virtual deal factory, and there are opportunities for you to present a creative solution to these individuals. And again, I'm using that word creative. That's not a word to make it sound fun. That's because that is your job as a real estate investor. It's to take somebody who can't find a traditional solution and bring them a creative solution. Now, there are different ways to do it, through owner financing, through lease purchase programs, through credit repair. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, but they are non-traditional ways. So, now, the next thing I want to share about buyer leads, and I'm going to share something really, really cool, secret, and Mark might not talk about this, I'll blow up the spot a little bit. Mark does enormous number of deals. There are times I'll call him and I'll be like, Damien, we got a delay shooting the show. I'm closing like 3 deals in a day. Okay, so he closes an enormous number of deals, tremendously successful, huge real estate investing company that he's the head of, that he does everything. But here's a little secret. Mark is not trading $1 million properties. Most of the properties he trades are very, very small. Most of the real estate investing deals he does, they're small properties. But on every property, he makes $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. And he does it all day long, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, or whatever the case may be. And that's how he runs his business. And so this is the same opportunity that we present to you with buyer leads. You know what? Maybe you will find the 1 or 2 people that, wow, I want to buy a 4 4-unit condo complex to turn into a rental property on the beach, and I want to spend $750,000. But most of the people here want to buy smaller properties, and that's great, especially if you're a new real estate investor, because it limits your risk, it limits your exposure, and lets you to get the most bang for the buck with whatever capital or whatever credit you have to work with. Okay? So these deals, most of these buyer leads are going to be for smaller properties, and that's a good thing. You need to get out of the mindset of thinking, hey, I've never done a deal, I've only done 2 deals, but I'm only dealing in $500,000 plus deals. No. Listen, I do it. Mark does it all the time. Turn $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 profits all day long on smaller properties. It's easier, it's faster, it's less hassle. So a couple FAQs on where do these buyer leads come from? Well, they come from 2 different places. First of all, they come from you. Virtual Deal Factory members can put their buyer leads in here. So for example, say you find a buyer but you don't have a property, or you have a buyer who's in an area outside your area of investing, you can put the buyer lead in there, help matching up with a property, and make money. The other place they come from is we also have our own system where, like I said, Mark does this all day long. He does this all the time. And so he's built a system that I've now had our team integrate into the Virtual Deal Factory, where we're generating buyer leads all over the internet and feeding them into the Virtual Deal Factory so that you can use them and so that you can find deals for them. Okay? A lot of them are non-traditional buyers. A lot of them are rent-to-own buyers. There's all different kinds of buyers there. So that's where do they come from? Next question. How do you approach them? Good question. Well, how would you want to be approached? Let's say you completed a form on a website, or you let somebody know, hey, I'm facing this challenge, I'm facing this situation, but I want to do this. How would you want to be approached? Well, I'm about you, but I would want to be approached with a solution. So you want to approach a buyer lead just by saying, hey, my name is Damien, I'm from the Virtual Deal Factory. They had, the Virtual Deal Factory works with, Mark Evans and Damien. They had let me know that you were looking to buy a property for this amount, and these are some of your challenges. I believe I can help you and find a solution for you. Is this something you're still looking to do? Oh, yeah, of course. If I could buy a property, I want to be a homeowner with some great deals, and I want to get in on one. Okay, great. Can I ask you a few questions? And that's as simple as it has to be. Just introduce yourself. Let them know that you believe you can help them and bring a solution to them. And then just say, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? And that's such an important thing to say, because once you say that and they say, sure, then they'll feel more comfortable answering questions, as opposed to if you just start peppering them with questions out of the blue, they're going to get out, whoa, where are all these questions coming from? But when you ask in advance and get permission, it'll be easier to speak with them. Okay? Next common question, what if I have a buyer lead? What can I do with it? Well, like I said, you can also post your buyer leads in the Virtual Deal Factory so that other investors who have deals can bring them to your buyer, and you are the contact person, so you don't have to worry about losing your buyer lead or anything like that. You're the contact person. You could help connect that deal and make an assignment fee, a finder's fee, or split the commission, or not commission, split the profits, or whatever else you feel fit to work out with the other investor. So you can post your buyer leads in there. In other words, there should never be someone who wants to do a deal that you can't do a deal with, that you don't get a deal for, because now you have the Virtual Deal Factory. Okay? And next question. Okay, next FAQ. What if I can't find a property for them? Okay, first of all, that's okay. First of all, you always set it up that you never say, I guaranteed I have a solution. You say, hey, I believe I can help you. And that's understandable. I'm going to do my best to help you. And maybe you won't find a solution. That's okay. And if you can't, well, at least you can still look in the Virtual Deal Factory, first of all, at hot deals. So maybe you find a deal that's not your own but somebody else's. Or you could always just contact another BDF member in their area and say, hey, do you know of any properties? I have a buyer I'm trying to help and work with. Can you help find a deal? And we can all work together. So there's never a reason not to find a solution. And don't be afraid to approach them because you're like, oh, well, what if I don't have the answer? It's okay. There's ways to find the answers. Okay, just be honest, be straightforward, and look to really work in their best interest and just show them that you're here to find a solution to their situation. So that's Chatting with VDF. That's all about buyer leads, and there's so much more we could talk about, but I want to make sure you know about it. Make sure you're taking advantage of that all the time, and that's it. So as for me, time to get oatmealed up. It's the only way to start the day, oatmeal. And I'll see you next time on Chatting with VDF. Damien here. Out. I don't want to say out. That's what Ryan Seacrest says. Damien here. See you. What do I say at the end? All right, guys. I'll see you next time.